Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Bougie Bree. Thank you for joining me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you choose to be here with me. And guess what? I love that shit. So I'm gonna do a sassy bitch over 40 video and a life update. Not really excuse me the way I'm dressed, but you'll figure out why in a minute while I'm dressed kind of really down. So I'm gonna do some makeup and just talk about what's going on with me. And I'll tell you what I'm doing while I'm doing it. I'm first going to use the Pore Defense Sheer Envy Primer from Hard Candy. I really like this. I usually go with like something a little bit more, not silicone, but like more filling. But this works for right now, so, and I like it. So, you know, one of the things I like to talk about in my Sassy Bitch Over 40 is like what that means for me, okay? And what that looks like for me. And one of the things I'm learning is like taking ownership of my life, like what I want to do, when I want to do it, how I want to do it, that nobody runs me, so to speak. I'm going to use the Smashbox Studio Skin in 3.35, which is something I've already kind of been my whole life, but a lot of times I'll get mixed up in like what is expected from me by like my peers, like being married and having kids and stuff like that, their journey, and I'll compare it to mine and where I should be, so to speak, and I really let that shit go for a long time. I'm using this, this is from, what the hell is this called? Oh gosh, what are they called? Real Techniques. So I've let go of a lot of that as I come into my own, and sometimes coming into your own takes a long time. Like, I'm 41, and for the longest time I would compare myself against my peers that I went to high school with and college with, and I went to some very prestigious high schools and colleges, and not to toot my own horn, but I went to an all-girls Catholic high school, very competitive. I was one of like 8 black girls in that whole school, and I think we had 188 girls in our class. So it was a very competitive world I grew up in. And then I went to a Catholic university where it was mainly white and Asian. There were very few black students. And I had a couple of guys that I really get along well with men, not women. And so I kind of aligned myself with a couple of guys that were like my core group of friends, and we hung out a lot and we had a lot of fun together. But as I grew into the person that I became at that point, I got addicted to drugs, pretty seriously addicted, for about 4 years. And when I got clean, I was about 90 pounds. I was doing cocaine. And I'm using the, what's this, like whatever, translucent powder from Fenty. And so I spent 4 years on drugs, and I've been clean for almost 15 years. In that time, while I've been clean, I went through 23 different surgeries, mostly related to my bladder. I had a very, very rare bladder disorder. Like shortly after I got clean in 07, January, and in April, I started having problems with my bladder. And I won't go into all the details, but I had several surgeries, and I suffered tremendously for about 10 years. I had to wear adult diapers. It was just really horrible. Going to the bathroom like 80 times a day. It was really bad. And then all of a sudden it stopped, like out of nowhere. And around that time, it was right a couple years before my mother died, I just started to kind of like enjoy what God had given me, which was like a reprieve from the worst thing that I ever, I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I'm using the Cali Contour. So I guess it was around 37, 38 that I started to kind of change my outlook on who I was supposed to be according to everybody, my parents, my peers. I would see people post on Facebook about their kids and their homes, and I was still living in an apartment, and it was just me at the time. And then I got my dog Tasia, which was living at my parents' house when my mom got really sick. And after Tasia passed away, I got Nala, who's what I have now. So one of the things my mother really wanted before she passed away, and I knew this, was that she wanted me to be settled. She wanted me to have my own spot, my own home. She didn't want my dad or her to worry if something happened to them that I didn't have a home. And so the market right now in Texas, I don't know about nationwide, is fucked up. It is a seller's market. People are overbidding. Like if something's worth 250, people are overbidding 300. It's like ridiculous. So my dad and I decided, like, maybe I should look for a home. Maybe I should look for a townhome or a condo. So I was like, okay, that sounds better, because in all honesty, a 2,500 square foot home is too much for me and my dog, especially if I'm not married, I don't have kids. And even if I got married, it still would be too much. So we talked about that significantly. I'm going to use the Bloom from Natasha Denona. And so I contacted the realtor that I had worked with before the housing market like exploded, named Karen. And I told her, I said, I think I want to look at some townhomes and condos. And I picked out like 6 that I want to look at. And Karen, she's a badass. Like that woman, I've worked with her twice. We looked at a house like outside of Houston called, in an area called Missouri City. And I wanted that house so bad, but we took too long to move on it and we lost the house. So this time I was like, Karen, this is what I want. My dad and I want to move fast, because in honesty, I don't have the credit to purchase a house the way my dad wanted to purchase it. He wanted to put a significant down payment, like half of what the home was worth. And so I don't know if I've told you, my dad's a lawyer and a pharmacist, and he still works. So he had that kind of money. I don't. I could probably put down 1% like, of what, you know, the asking price was, but I can't do half of the asking price. So a couple weeks ago we went to look, and I was kind of feeling down because I really wanted a house, and I just really wanted a house. And but I was like, yeah, that's probably the best thing, is to look at some condos and townhomes and whatever. So I found a couple of, and it was really important that I be near my family, that I be near my sister and my dad's home, my mom and dad's home. I still call it mom and dad's home. Not to be too far, but that area is fucking expensive. Where my dad, like, I live around the corner from my dad in an apartment, but his area, they are selling houses like ridiculous. So I was like, we're gonna have problems staying within the budget. So I found these townhomes that were not that far in a really good area, and it's a condo complex. So it's kind of like apartments, but not really. It's like sectioned off. And I saw it online, and I was like, ooh. And the asking price was pretty reasonable. So we set up 6 appointments. I walked into that townhome, that condo. I looked around. Karen wasn't saying much of anything, because she knows me. I looked around. I said, this is the one I want. And she goes, well, we have other appointments. I said, no. This is the one that I want. So I took video, and it has hardwood floors and tile floors. I did not want carpet. It has a humongous living room. Really big lighting in the living room. It has a small kitchen, which is fine because I don't do a whole lot of cooking for multiple people. It's just me and Nala. Granite tops everywhere. Stainless steel appliances, which came with the apartment. Like beautiful mahogany type cabinetry with nickel, like, what's it called? Handles and stuff like that. The second bedroom, which would be the beauty room, is huge. It has 2 humongous closets, lots of light, because right now I'm looking into a fucking stairwell, okay? So, and then the second bathroom, granite, like an over the toilet seat, like kind of, whatever the hell, like shelving unit, really beautifully decorated. The only thing is that both bathrooms have showers, and so we're probably gonna put a tub in one of them. Like beautiful tile in the showers. Just beautiful. The bedrooms have hardwood. So the second bedroom, the master bedroom, I can't tell you how gorgeous it was. Beautiful floors, a bay window where I could put like a little seating area to read. Beautiful windows, a humongous closet. Now, let me tell you something. All my life, I've had a really fucking big closet. When I was living at my parents' house, I lived in my sister's old bedroom, and the closet was so big that when my sister lived there, and we had enough bedrooms to accommodate everybody. It was my brother, my sister, my mom, my dad, and my sister's 2 children, and we had 5 bedrooms in that house. But my sister wanted the kids close to her, so one of them slept in the bedroom with her, because that bedroom was huge, and one of them slept in the closet. So when I moved into, that's how big that fucking closet was. So when I moved into my sister's room, the closet was enormous. This closet is double the size. It's huge. It goes all the way back. The bathroom, same granite, beautiful mahogany type, nickel type crown molding throughout the entire apartment, chair rails. So I got excited and I took a video. And so in the video, I wish I might play it. I don't know, it might be too personal for me to play. Because I'm in the video, I'm talking to my dad and I'm like, Dad, I think this is the one I want. And of course I needed his help. And so my dad is the kind of man, he's very busy. You're like, how is he busy at 83? Motherfucker busy. You know what I'm saying? He's got shit to do. And a lot of it is because he does mostly probate. He does property as well, but he does mostly probate. And a lot of people have died as a result of COVID, older people. And so he has their children coming to his office for probating the wills. I'm using the Natasha Denona bronze palette. And so he's been really busy. So when I told him, and he's slow to move, my dad's like God, he moves in his own time, I swear to God. So I said, Dad, I need you to come see this apartment, this condo. And Miss Ballard, sorry, Karen, is very outgoing, very bubbly. And I was afraid that she was going to put my dad off. But he really liked her. And he looked around. He said a couple of things. He goes, I can see why Bridget, that's my real name, likes this place. I think she'd be happy here. And then he turned to her. He goes, you know, she's the smartest of my kids. And we all know that I'm like, everybody has their title. Renee's the bubbly one. James is like the mayor. He's great with people. And I'm the smart one. And for him to tell some stranger that he's never met that my kid is smart. And I know that, and he knows that, and we've talked about my intelligence, but he's telling some lady he's never met that he's proud of me. And my dad doesn't say stuff like that. He's never been like, I'm really proud of you, way to go. He just thinks that you should already know that. And that's kind of how I run my life. Like, I already know that man loves me. I already know. So he comes back, and so I have to play it cool, right? So I wait for him to come back. He went to see it on like a Sunday at 4 o'clock. So next Monday, I'll wait for him to get up. And I'm like, so I wait a little bit. And so then I just bust over to the house. And so I said, what do you think, Dad? So I don't have don't ask me how this, but my key to my dad has like 1,000 keys to his house. And like you have a key to the gate, a key, there's 2 locks, you have a key to 2 locks, there's a bunch of keys. And I lost the key to the back gate, so he has to get up to open the gate, which is annoying to him. So he comes and opens the door, he goes, what do you want? And he's laughing, you know. I said, I want to come in, I want to talk to you. And I brought him like coffee or something, I can't remember. He's like, is this what you're doing now? You're bringing me coffee? So I'm like, I have to schmooze you, you know what I'm saying? So we go sit down. I go, what'd you think? He goes, it's nice. That's all he says. It's like, okay, black man, I need you to, I need more than that. He goes, well, what are they asking? He already knew what they were asking. And I just reiterated it. He said, well, let's go 5,000 lower than what they're asking. He said, I want you to do everything. And I just want you to tell me the minimal amount that I want that you need me to do because I'm really busy. And he is, because he's got all these wills he's got to probate. And he's doing them not at the courthouse, through Zoom, which is a whole nother dynamic for him at 83, trying to Zoom some shit. So he was telling me how like he was in a Zoom court proceeding and they could only see his head. And they were like, Mr. Fuller, we love your head, but we can only see it. So he's like, I need you to just tell me what I need to do, and you know, I'll read it, and you can electronically sign for me. Like that's, I don't want to deal with this as least as possible. So we offered, they counter offered with 1,000 less than what the asking price was. So we countered again, stood firm, and so I said, Dad, I really want this place. He looks at me, he goes, give them what they want, so you can have what you want. And I just burst into tears, and I was like, thank you so much. Because I wouldn't be able to do this without my dad. There's no way. I can't afford it. I would not be able to afford the mortgage without the down payment that he was going to put down. Because like I said, it was half of what the place is worth. So, and now the mortgage is affordable, because it's way less than what I'm paying here. So I go back to Miss Karen. I go, he's gonna go full offer. So we sent in the offer, and it was like that day around 10. And so I'm waiting and I'm waiting and I'm waiting, and the next day is like Sunday. So we've been working at this for like a week, I guess, offering back and forth. And so Miss Karen, I text her, I said, call me when you get up, because Miss Karen's like a friend. She's awesome. She's not one of those realtors that's like makes you a number. Like, she cares about you and she wants you to be happy. Because she was like, well, maybe we should move on to other condos. I said, no. I said, give me time. I will make this work. It's gonna happen. Because like I've told you before, if I want something bad enough, I'm gonna get it. And my dad knows that about me. He knows if she really wants this, I'm gonna have to do this for her. So, and he's even said to me before, he's in tears after my mother died, that there's nothing I can deny my children. I just can't do it. If it's reasonable and they want it, they have to have it. And that's how he is with all his children and his grandchildren. If you want something bad enough and it's a reasonable thing that he can do, and it's not like buying a baseball team or something like that, he'll do it. But he'll do it in his time. But he knows, working in property law, that you gotta move fast. And knowing the state of the market. So yesterday morning, after I text Miss Karen, I was gonna call her, and she texts me back and she goes, they signed, we have an executed contract, congratulations. So I will be moving into my own home in about 30 days. Right now we're in the option period, so we have to get it inspected and appraised and all that shit. And so I don't have that money, so my dad's helping with that. It's like 1% of the asking price, regardless of what you're putting down. So 1% of the asking price, and then, or not the asking price, the executed contract price, which I don't have that kind of money. So even if it's 200 grand, I don't have 2 grand plus the inspection fee. I don't have that. So let's just say that, okay, I don't have that, but my dad does. So I told him, so he says to me, I need you to tell me what you need step by step, because he doesn't want to be overwhelmed. So I told him, this is a Kat Von D, what's this liner called? I can't remember what it's called. The liner. The inkjet liner, is that what it's called? So I told him that what I needed and I needed it made out to the title company, because we've got to get this stuff done in 7 days. And so last night, Miss Karen emails me and said, hey, the seller didn't initial the seller's disclosure part, so read it and, you know, sign it again. So, okay. So that's what I'm doing this morning, is I'm making sure that the seller's disclosure is not anything like crazy. And so I'm super excited, guys. And not necessarily because like I'm buying a home, and my dad is helping me, yes, but this is a whole new adventure for me, and it's super exciting. Like, I remember when my mom was passing away, she goes, your dad's gonna take care of it, your dad's gonna make sure you get a nice house and that you're happy. And I said, well, I'm happy, Mom, I don't need anything. She goes, no, you need to be somewhere where we don't have to worry. No, I don't want you to have to deal with other, you know, neighbors. I want you to be in a nice environment, stuff like that. And so, he made good on that promise. And so when he told me that, you know, he was gonna go ahead and, you know, accept full offer, full price, I just burst into tears, and I just went over and hugged him. He was laying down. And he said, okay, get out, I'm sleepy. So, but this is a whole new chapter for me. Like, this is, you know, me and Nala have our own home. It is exactly what I need. It's exactly what I want. Has a washer and dryer. I mean, everything I want is in that damn apartment. It's not an apartment, it's a condo. It's like 1,500 square feet, which is perfect for us. It's just nice. And so the last couple of days, because I already had like put on faith that this was going to happen, I called Purple Heart, and I have shit outside my apartment door right now, and they are coming to get that shit today. I have a desk, I have my couch, I have 2 nightstands, I have a bunch of appliances, home appliances, you know, kitchen appliances, dishes, all that shit. Like, bye. Get going. I already started packing up my bedroom. Like, I'm getting busy because I still have to work during this time. So, I'm super excited about that. So, what I'm getting to regarding this situation is that, you know, coming into your own and becoming your own woman and your own person is a process, right? And sometimes it's not the process that you envision. Like, you know, I was talking to somebody the other day, like, I envisioned I was going to go to law school and I was going to be an attorney and then eventually a judge. That was my initial, what I wanted for myself. That's what I wanted. I wanted to be a judge, ultimately. I wanted to be a judge. I wanted to be an attorney. That's what I wanted. But that's not how things worked out. And I never envisioned myself working with children. I never envisioned myself working with children with different abilities, ever. I never envisioned myself having that kind of compassion. I just didn't think that was going to happen. And once I figured out that I was not going to have children unless I got married, and it didn't look like I was going to get married anytime soon, I shifted my focus. So, anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Just, if anything that you take away from this little series is about being your own woman, being who you want to be, and not like setting yourself up for disappointment by having expectations that other people put on you. Fuck what other people think. The most important thing is what you think about yourself, how you view yourself, how you love yourself. Because I promise to God, you cannot have love for anybody else unless you have love for yourself. And that is just the honest truth. You hear that all the time, woo woo woo, but it's true. Like, you can't give other people what you don't have. So, so that's why I'm dressed all like exercisey. I have so much stuff. The room that has the most stuff is this room. So because I'm ridiculous, I'm going to be packing this stuff a special way, and it's going in my car. It's not going in the moving van. And I'm trying to find a goddamn moving company that's not going to rape me. Shit. And then I have a whole bunch of stuff that I'm decluttering. Like, there's like 250 pallets down there. So I'm happy about that. And so I'm going to be doing a video on the stuff I'm getting rid of. And I'll put that on Mercari once I get settled in my new place. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for hanging out with me. I always enjoy that. Just remember, it gets different. It gets really fucking different. Hang on for the ride. Helps on the way. Bye. While I'm up cleaning, boy, please, I don't need it. Memories, all that shit, you could keep it. Hey, don't forget to come and pick up your feelings. For you, you ran out of pennies I forgave you. Yeah, listen, now you're listening, just for you to go and break my heart again. I learned my lesson.